Hi everybody. So I promised that I was going to make a video about making the Mesquite coffee, and I'm a little sweaty because it's very hot today. It's supposed to be 96. Got a fan right here blowing on me. It uses Ryobi batteries that we charge with our solar array. So anyways, so I was going to make some mesquite coffee and show you a little bit about it. We start with the mesquite beans, and I don't have any whole mesquite beans. My wife has already snapped these. So this is like a fourth of a bean, a pod. And the pods have little beans in them, but we actually use the whole pod and everything. So I've got some pods here. And then we roast those, just like you would roast coffee, and we end up with roast mesquite pods, whole pods. And my wife has taken the time over the years. We've been doing this about 10 years. I'm smoking a home rolled. I just rolled this cigar a minute ago. Anyways, my wife has taken over the last 10 years has kind of learned the right time, the right dryness of the original pod, when to roast them, and she's kind of has it all down to a science in her head. So we end up with a whole bunch of mesquite pods, and I'm not going to show you me grinding them because for years we just used regular coffee grinders or blenders. We tried everything, and we would go through 5 or 6 grinders a year because these are very, very hard pods. And they're sugary, a little sugary, so they would just tear up the grinders. So we got a, thanks to a good friend of ours, we got a hammer mill this year, and it's just wonderful, just makes the perfect. And I'm gonna have to turn the fan off here when I show you. But it makes the perfect grind, which is more like an espresso grind. So I'm gonna turn the fan off here, and this is some of our ground coffee, and it's about the you'll see it's got small little bits of pod, you can see in there. That's all part of the perfect experience. It's really like an espresso mix. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this French press, and you're supposed to, there's this whole process that baristas use when they go through making perfect coffee. You preheat everything and you do this for 1.5 minutes and you let it rest. I'm just going to make, plain mesquite coffee. Alright, so my wife, wonderful Danielle, boiled me some water. Everything's is deliberate. You don't just have a plug boiler pot, you just puck and you got water or whatever. Everything has to be done deliberately. I'm going to pour a little bit of water into here before I put the coffee in. Alright. And then I'm going to use this little shot glass. And normally you'll use about 1/3 as much as you would. So I'm not going to make I'm just going to make a cup. So I just do this all by feel. So I dump that in there, and I need something to stir it with. Or maybe not. I'll stir it like that. Spilled a little. Alright, and I can already smell very, very strong mesquite smell, which is like a cinnamon coffee. It smells cinnamony. It doesn't have a strong cinnamony taste, but it has just a hint, just a small hint of cinnamon. And then I'm going to pour some more water in here. I'm just doing maybe a cup, maybe a little bit more than a cup. I guess I should have put in enough to make this whole pot, but I'm just making it for me. And this was all just, I didn't measure anything. And so you're supposed to put the top on this and let it sit for 3 minutes. So I'll do that. And it's actually brewing. Now, if people on Facebook had asked me some questions. I ask people on Facebook to ask me questions because I get emails or private messages all the time with questions like, how does your humanure toilet work? Or how do you power your office? How do you do this? How do you do that? And I say, you really should ask this question on Facebook or in a public forum. That way I could answer it in a public forum and I wouldn't have to do it over. I mean, I would probably still have to do it over and over again. But at least somebody else could get help by it. But I tell people on Facebook to ask questions and they don't. They don't want to ask questions publicly. And then I get 10 emails or private messages. Exquisite home rolled cigar. I don't know how long 3 minutes is. I'm not going to wait too long. Mesquite coffee is a little bit more full-bodied, a little bit more flavorful, less bitter than regular coffee. No irritation of the stomach. You get a caffeine-like effect, even though it doesn't have caffeine in it. So it does kind of brighten you up. And you don't have to, if you're like me and you like your coffee black, it's almost like you got a little bit of sweetener with it, but not much. Perfect amount. But if you like it sweet, then you can do that. You can add creamer, and one of the best ways I've ever had it is with honey and just a touch of fresh cream. So I'm going to pretend like that's 3 minutes, and what I need to do is empty this. I'm going to pour it into this cup first so you can see it, and then I'll pour it into my coffee cup. So then you like press this down in a slow and easy. My daughter Tracy bought me this French press, and then I'm supposed to let it sit another minute, but I'm not probably going to do that. I'll just do a little bit. It's supposed to settle a little bit more. If you do have questions, either ask me on the video comments, or email me, or excuse me, or get on my Facebook. Facebook.com/offgrid is how you find me. And then just ask questions on there. Alright, I'm going to pretend like that's it. So there's the coffee. I normally drink it out of a coffee cup. And I'm not going to put any honey in this. So that's with the French press. I don't know how well that works, but I'm sure it'll be just fine. Cheers. Delicious. Tastes like coffee. Tastes like coffee with a hint, barely hint of some sweetness with some little taste. Just a hint of cinnamon. Not much. All right. Talk to y'all later.